The Line, NEOM. Many Middle Eastern countries are working to transition away from carbon-based economies and towards alternatives that draw visitors from across the world for tourism, commerce, employment or residence. This is necessary given how quickly climate change is progressing. For a long time, Dubai has held the top position for being the most attractive hub for tourists and foreigners, with the city seeing no less than 12 million tourists every year. However, with Saudi Arabia's futuristic city, NEOM, we doubt Dubai would hold that top spot for long. NEOM is Saudi Arabia's plan for a futuristic city, one unlike anything anyone has ever seen. The projects under NEOM are simply crazy, and today we look at one thought to be the most insane: the Line. The Line. The Line is a part of the much larger NEOM mega project announced by Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud on the 10th of January 2021. The mega project is expected to cost the Saudi government more than $1 trillion, and it shows the commitment of the Saudi Arabian government to its citizens and their living conditions. But what exactly is the Line? To sum it up, the Line is two 500-metre high and 200-metre wide buildings that will cover 170 kilometres of land. It will stretch from the Gulf of Eilat in the Red Sea all the way to the country. These two buildings would run parallel to each other in the NEOM, which is in the Tabuk province of Saudi Arabia. A high-speed train will operate between the two structures. The railway and walkways between the buildings will connect both buildings together. 5 million people are expected to live in the structure, which is expected to cost a staggering $1 trillion when finished. Inhabitants will be able to travel from end to end in just 20 minutes. The buildings will have glass exteriors so they mirror each other, hence the project is usually dubbed the Mirror Line. It sounds exciting, right? This is only the beginning. The best part is, the Line is going to be what is referred to as a smart city. What is a smart city? Smart cities. We'd like you to leave a comment on what your idea of a smart city is. Wrong answers only. We're thinking Krypton with Brainiac or Chat, GPT. What do you think? Smart cities are specific geographical areas that use tech-based infrastructure. It's an urban setting that makes use of the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and other cutting-edge data-gathering technologies to operate more effectively and sustainably. These cities use technology, data, and artificial intelligence to enhance the lives of its inhabitants. So, while it's not exactly Krypton, you could say it's pretty close, at least as close as a city can get right now. More lines. The plan for the Line is to create the most advanced city possible within the 200 metres that separate both megastructures of the Line. There will be parks, schools, companies, factories and farms within the city for its 9 million inhabitants. Even more exciting is the twist. Everything within the Line would be vertically built. Yep, imagine it. These guys plan to stack buildings and even farms on top of each other like Legos. The entire city will be powered solely by renewable energy sources. 3 layers will make up the structure, one on the ground level for pedestrians, one below earth for infrastructure, and one below ground for vehicles. Residents will be compensated for providing information to the Line, which will utilize artificial intelligence to monitor the city and apply predictive and statistical models to find ways to improve daily living for its inhabitants. It's sounding a lot like 2077 here. The construction of the Line alone is expected to create over 480,000 jobs and add no less than $48 billion to Saudi's GDP. Incredible. Possible roadblocks. So, the Line sounds really great. Normally a feat like this would take at least 10 years to build, maybe only possible in like 2100. But the Prince of Saudi Arabia isn't ready to wait that long. They want it now, and the first residents of the Line are expected to move in by 2030. That's like 7 years away from now. While most people don't believe it to be possible, and for justifiable reason, the developers believe it is achievable. The next question becomes how realistic is the completion of the Line, at least within the target time. For starters, Saudi Arabia doesn't have a good track record when it comes to completing projects of this size. For example, the construction of Jeddah Tower, which started in 2013, is still incomplete after 10 years. The Line is promising more in far lesser time frame. But you have to think, if there is one ruler that can do it, it has to be the Prince of Saudi Arabia. The man controls trillions of dollars, and as most people have come to realize, money makes the world go round. or in this case, straight. So, we won't bet against its completion. But the line raises other concerns aside from reaching completion. The line is marketed as a post-carbon eco-city, but there are doubts that the project can achieve its environmental, economic and social objectives in a matter of years given the scope of its objectives. For one, many believe that the construction of the line itself defeats its objective of reducing carbon dioxide emissions. It's been estimated that its construction would lead to the emission of over 1.8 gigaton worth of CO2. That's more CO2 than the entire UK will emit in 4 years. There are also the orphan risks associated with the collection of data. Saudi Arabia is not popular for its good human rights record, so there is a potential risk for the misuse of data. The line was designed to revolutionize urban living and was expected to be finished by 2025. It remains to be seen whether such a complicated megacity can be finished so quickly, since development is yet to start in earnest. It's also worrying that the project fails to mention important details like community structure, diversity of household types, governance, individual rights, tolerance of diverse religious and spiritual needs, and, all those other things that make living. It gets worse when you find out that some people, especially natives of the Hawattat tribe, were forcibly evacuated from their homes in the Tabuk province for the NEOM project. Reports suggest that natives who didn't leave their homes were killed. Pretty dark. Makes you wonder where the authorities in Saudi Arabia will draw the line. Why the line? Another important question is why build the line, or NEOM for that matter? Saudi Arabia simply wants to diversify. For too long, the country has primarily been known for its oil and pilgrimage. Since Mohammed bin Salman took over, the country has been slowly trying to rebrand its global image. A project of this nature is sure to attract international attention and investors. It surely caught ours, and if you watched this video up to this point, then it clearly caught yours as well. A promotional video for NEOM and the line already has 50 million views on YouTube. It's safe to say the world is watching Saudi Arabia as they attempt to redefine city living. The prince says he wants NEOM to be Saudi Arabia's pyramids, an architectural masterpiece that will rival the wonders of the world. If it fulfills all its promises, nothing stops it from attaining that illustrious status. The sad truth is, many cities have been proposed, but most of them never saw the light of day. For example, in 2017, Google subsidiary Sidewalk Labs announced plans to build a smart waterfront neighborhood in Toronto. However, the project was abandoned in 2020. Columbus, Ohio received a $50 million grant in 2016 to implement smart technologies, but hasn't been able to achieve its initial objectives because of technical difficulties, the pandemic, and changing attitudes towards some of the technology it was using. Even the ones that were successfully built, like South Korea's Songdo, which cost over $40 billion to complete, faces a different kind of problem: under-occupation of houses. Nevertheless, NEOM and the line represents a fantastic idea that currently sounds too grand to be true. But right now, we can only sit and wait to see what will become of NEOM and the line. The most important question is, would you be open to living in a place like the line? Do you think the line would attract residents? Let us know in the comments below.